Welcome back to BVarsity Live. I'm Zach Ewing. This is April 30th, last day of April, which means everything's getting down to it for spring sports now. And we are in the downtown California studios. We've switched out our guests. Isaac Trevino and Morgan Hill are gone. And in their place, the Centennial softball team, or at least three members of it. We have Trish McNew, Madison Aurin, and Keeley Eagen. Yeah. Got it right. Okay. I was afraid I was going to mispronounce that.
Keeley Eagen.
Assistant coach Keeley Eagen. And
Zach, fix yourself.
What's going on? Oh.
That.
Excuse me. I had to get up for Morgan's epic lip syncing performance there. So, anyway, the season has been probably up and down for you guys. Is that a fair way to describe it? Defending D1 Valley champions came in with a lot of high expectations, and you've played really well for the most part with a few blips here or there. Is that fair?
Yeah. Yeah.
Madison leads the state in home runs, by the way, with 14. So that's one of the good things. What's going on right now as we're 2.5 weeks away from playoffs starting? Do you guys feel like you're ready to make another run?
I feel like we are. I think all of us have all the confidence in the world, and we just believe in each other. And we're saying, especially with playing Liberty on Friday and playing Frontier, which is basically our biggest competition. Mm-hmm. We're flipping that switch, and we're gonna do good.
Is that easy though, Tricia, to say let's flip the switch? I mean, you did it last year. You hope you can do it this year, but at the same time, you probably would have liked to have been playing at that level all year long, right?
Yeah. Well, like Madison said, it really depends because we have a different outfield and defense this year, so we had to turn our confidence a different way with catchers and our outfield getting hurt, so we had to rotate everybody.
So there's a big adjustment there.
Yeah. But we still all have confidence in each other to make it far again.
Yeah. And Keeley, what do you see? Is the team similar feeling to last year as you guys go into postseason play?
It's not a similar feeling. Last year they were stacked every position. There was never a moment where they were like, oh no, we might lose this. This year it's a group of new girls have come in. They're freshmen. They have to evolve. They have to grow up. They have to get to know the seniors. The seniors have to get to know the freshmen. And it was a struggle in the beginning, just like any other year that any new kids come in. It was a struggle, but they're definitely a lot stronger now than they were in the beginning. And they feel a lot more comfortable and confident now than they did before, which they should have felt that confident before, but like I said, it was a new group.
Takes some time.
It takes some time, yeah.
And you guys as seniors, last year maybe you could sort of just blend in, just do your part. Mm-hmm. You got to do more than that this year, don't you, with the younger teammates?
Yeah, especially since recently coming to first base after Hightower had to go to catcher. Our left fielder from last year, me and her, with our communication was just perfect, and we knew what we were thinking at all times. And having a new left fielder, it was very hard at first to kind of see what each other's strengths and weaknesses are and what we're comfortable with. But I think it's coming together.
Madison, is that the biggest thing too, going from shortstop? I know you pitch along with Trish, but you guys like my hat?
Yeah.
Your boys' golf team brought that in a couple weeks ago.
Tyler Burns brought that in for us. Yeah.
Nice.
And so is that the biggest thing? Is that a hard adjustment to go from shortstop to first base, and especially in the middle of your senior year?
No, on my travel team, I play outfield, first, short, pitch. I catch a little bit, so I'm a utility player. I'm used to it.
Nice.
I agree with that. There wouldn't be a spot if someone went down, I could put her in any position and feel totally comfortable. She would know exactly what to do.
Which is harder than people think. That reminds me of that scene in Moneyball when Brad Pitt is trying to convince, I think it's Scott Hatteberg, that he needs to play first base and how easy the transition will say. And he asks his assistant, one of his managers, he says, tell him it's not going to be difficult at all. And the other guy goes, it's incredibly difficult. Sorry for that. So, Madison, you lead the state in home runs, 14, just in a zone. What's going on? I mean, just picking the pitches to hit?
I'm just being aggressive, waiting for the mistake, and jumping on it, I guess.
Well, and that was one thing that you and I talked about yesterday, where you guys had that stretch when you went down to the Crew Classic down in Anaheim, where you felt that you were kind of maybe pressing a little too hard because you knew it was higher competition. Did you feel like you were trying to lead a little too hard at that point?
Yeah,
And then when you got back home, you're like, okay, I need to get back into what I know I can do.
Yeah, definitely.
The less you think, the better. Maybe when you're at
Yeah.
the plate. Yeah, I mean, it sounds bad, but that's the truth. Tricia, as a pitcher, a lot of pressure on you in a softball game. Obviously, how do you combat that? Are you trying to push those thoughts out of your head as you pitch and focus on each pitch, or do you embrace that pressure?
Kind of both, because like when I have pressure behind me, I focus on pitching more and try and push harder, spin the ball more. But when my offense, my hitting, when they get ahead on runs, it puts confidence behind me. And I already know I have confidence with my defense.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty much both.
Now,
You
as
gotta-
far as go ahead, Trevor.
Oh, you got your new center fielder, Logan Minnie, right?
Yeah.
Frozen rope for an arm out there. You guys had a position where you had runners, I think at second and third in the fifth or sixth inning, and it was
1 out.
a heavily deep fly ball to center field, and she just throws a rope into Madison Hightower at catcher, and the runners just stalled there, and that was impressive. And Trish, again, one of those things you say, your defense always backs you up. Is that one thing you like, even though when you give up a long fly ball, that they're back there helping you out?
Mm-hmm. I know that with pop flies, bloopers, anything, I know that they can get it, and they will get it in. They won't let runs score.
And then how has the lead up to the playoffs been? How has it been different between last year, where you guys were kind of came out of nowhere, it was the first league title for you guys since 2008, I believe, kind of coming up and being a lower seed and winning like you guys did in the playoffs, and now where you're the top team once again in the league, and you guys are going to get maybe not a top 4 seed, but still you guys are playing well. Is there a difference between this year and last year? Just in your gear up.
Well, let me ask you this: are you paying attention to the seed? You won it as a 5 last year, so does that tell you it doesn't matter? Would you rather have a higher seed? Are you paying attention to those other teams?
Me personally, I don't pay attention to it, especially if we won it as a 5 seed last year. I think anything's possible.
Keeley, what do you think? I mean, obviously you can beat those teams, but they're also
Yeah.
playing really well. Also,
They're-
Central and
Buchanan.
Last year, being seeded 5 was a big issue. We thought we were a little gypped last year with the seed, and it just goes to prove it doesn't matter, what number you are. It comes out to be when you play that game, who's going to be on top. So
Right.
we're all, even though you're ranked 1 through 10, we're all equal. It's you're all really good. They just had to put a number on it. So this year, I don't think the girls really pay attention to what number they are. They just want to win, and they don't look necessarily forward to who we're playing next. It's just, are we going to win the next game? It's not who, but it's, are we going to come together that day and win?
Right. So obviously Buchanan, whom you beat in the championship game last year, is back. Central's very good. Clovis, who you beat in the semifinals last year. Hanford West, I believe, is up in Division I this year. Is that right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of good competition out there, not to mention a Frontier and a Liberty and a Stockdale from your own league. Tricia, anybody you look forward to playing in the playoffs? Anybody you want to avoid? I mean, or are you just one of those whoever's in front of us will play?
I'm looking forward to playing Buchanan again because we lost to them in the Clovis tournament,
Okay.
the Buchanan tournament. And
Same thing goes for Central, I guess, too, right?
Yeah, so we just want to get back at them.
Right, and if you can beat Central and Buchanan, you can beat anybody.
Yeah.
So that they, I think, are probably the top 2 seeds right
They
now,
are.
Trevor.
Yeah.
Central number 1 and Buchanan number 2, and then it kind of will fall into place from there over the next 2 weeks. How important is the league title? We all talk about Valley. We know Centennial won a Valley with Ensley Gamble in 2008, and then won it again last year, and that's the ultimate goal. But how much of a feather in your cap is that league title if you can finish it off here? For anybody.
I'll say it's nice. You have these friendly competitions. We're enemies, but these girls play travel ball with all the other schools out there, so they know each other. But in between the lines, it's tough. You gotta beat all those other schools out there, and we like to beat Stockdale. We like to beat Frontier, and it is very nice. Valley, that's the next step after league. We want to win league. We want to beat our competition out there, and then, we'll go from there. But it is definitely nice to beat
To have the
teams.
bragging rights.
Yeah,
and,
of course.
Yeah, and then obviously that's going to help your seed, which helps you in Valley, too, to win your own league. Anything stick out to you guys from this year as a high point yet or a low point that you can point to and say, that's how we need to get to be playing or that's what we need to avoid? I mean, I talked about the highs and lows. What are some of them?
I think one of our lows this year that would be great if it was better is our 1 through 9. With our outfield last year, they were also our 1, 2, and 9 hole, and they were like the bottom of our lineup, and we could always count on them. And just like everyone's been saying, we have new people, and they just got to get in their comfort zone a little bit, break out of their shell, and I think we're doing good now.
And I apologize, guys, if this is already well-known news, but what's up for college next year? Have you decided yet?
Good.
Well, I signed to Oklahoma Panhandle State University.
Okay. Division II program.
Yeah.
In Guyman, right? I've driven through there like 100 times, believe it or not.
Middle of nowhere.
Yeah. It's all right. It's all right. The nice thing about Guyman is it is the only thing for like 100 miles in either direction. So you're like, it feels like a big city. What about you?
I signed to San Jose State.
That's right. I
And
think
what
I
did
knew
we
that.
talk
Yeah.
about a lot yesterday, Madison? About going to San Jose.
Amazing restaurants.
And Pete's Coffee, which is always nice.
No, it's La Vic's Mexican restaurant, which is right next to the athletic department at San Jose State. It is some of the best food, and they've got this thing called orange sauce, where once you get, it's a little bit of spiciness.
I know you had me try. You brought it back.
Yeah,
and
that's
you,
right.
oh my
I did.
God.
John Hornberg,
This
our
is
lead
gonna
designer.
change your life. And
Yeah, no, you put orange sauce on just about everything. If you're not putting it on your cornflakes at the end of the day, you're doing something wrong.
It always
I'm
comes back to
joking.
food with this guy.
I told you, but Madison, it seems like you're the same way, right?
We'll get along really
yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Madison's
Who doesn't love good food?
grandma's aunt
Yes.
was one of the original owners of Wool Growers.
Wow. Wow. So are you? Can you cook Basque food? I mean, is that like is it passed down in the family?
I can cook Basque soup, but that's about it.
So if I asked for some pickled tongue, it wouldn't happen.
Oh, I could get you some, but I couldn't make it.
No, yeah, I'm still. I've been in Bakersfield for 8 years, and that's something I'm still sort of getting used to there.
Oh, it's amazing.
The pickled tongue. Well, guys, good luck the rest of the way. You have Liberty tomorrow, right? And then Frontier next week for 2 games. And then that's it for the regular season. We find out seeds a week from Saturday. One more thing I wanted to ask you before we let you go. The Central Section possibly moving softball all to one side at Fresno State starting next year. And I know you guys won't be around, but how do you feel about that? Is it cool in 2 years? 2 years, okay. So it'd be 2017. Would it be cool to go one place like a collegiate facility and play and see all the other championship games? Or is it, hey, if we got the number 1 seed, we want to play at home? I mean, like, for instance, last year, you guys would have been at Fresno State instead of at home. How do you come down on that?
Personally, I'd rather play at home, but I went and watched San Jose and Fresno State play. They have a really nice stadium, very big, very fancy, but I think I'd much rather play at home.
Yeah. What about you, Trish?
I think I would rather play at home too, because if you go to a bigger stadium or any place bigger than your home, then people won't feel comfortable. They won't even play their game. It'll be a totally different game.
But on the
If you're
flip
not at
side,
Of course, if you're supposed to be the road team
on the flip
instead
side,
of traveling, you get to play at a
wouldn't you
neutral
rather
site.
play at a neutral site than at their home field?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Keeley, what do you think about it? I mean, I know there's a balance there, but are you in favor of this happening or not?
I like the home crowd thing.
Okay.
I want to play if we've earned the right and we've earned that seed. I want to play at home. It is nice to have the bigger field and everything, but I think it's also a little bit of a distraction. College has all the hype and everything like that.
But you guys have played up at the Sacramento softball complex, right? Up in Sacramento. Have you guys played up there during travel ball? They do it where it's a site with 6 different fields, and they do the
Right.
whole Sac Joaquin section up there. But what you find is that you actually get more than just your fans there. You'll get fans of other teams or just softball fans in general there. So you actually get a larger crowd than you would just at home. So I mean,
I don't know. They had a pretty big crowd for the Valley Championship last year, and it was all red. Well,
Extra seating.
all Centennial red, not Buchanan red. Anyway, guys, I just wanted to ask you about that. We appreciate you coming in. Good luck the next couple of weeks in the playoffs. Thanks for joining us, and obviously congratulations on last year, trying to defend that title.
Thank Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Trish McNew, Madison Aurin, and Keeley Eagen of Centennial Softball. I don't know why I struggle with that. I got to think in my brain, put it together. We'll be back to wrap things up on BVarsity Live right after this.